All right. Good morning and welcome, everyone, to my first interview for my new series that I'm going to be calling Road to Success. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to start by wishing everyone a very, very, very happy new year. And, I hope you're going to have an amazing 2022. And by thanking all of the new and old followers on my page, for your support in 2021. And I really hope that I can, keep getting that support from you in this coming year as well. I'm planning to move full throttle on my road to success, my personal road to success in 2022, and hence the name of the series as well. So today, it gives me immense pleasure to actually start the first interview with someone that I admire. He started his digital journey at the same time that I did, maybe a couple months after me, in fact, and he has achieved one milestone after another. His tenacity, persistence, and his mindset has helped him to become a leader in our community. So, welcome, Raza. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm really, really, truly excited to have you on board.
It is awesome to be here. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and your amazing followers as well.
Thank you so much. So, Raza, who is Raza Aziz? Tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you'd like to share. I know you are a man of many, many different facets and different things that have made you what you are today, but what would you like to share?
Well, I mean, I'm just an ordinary guy here. I live in Toronto and I am married for 17 years as of this
Wow.
December and have a beautiful daughter, Aliza. She's 12 years old, and we have a pet rabbit. Yeah, that was an experiment that went well.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
professionally, I come from an HR background.
Hmm.
I barely got through school. I wasn't one of those high-ranking students or anything like that. And It's been a journey. Being here. I've been in Canada for about 32 years now. I think I
Wow.
was 14, 13 when I came here,
Okay.
and I'm 45 today. So not today. Today is not my birthday. I meant 45 right now.
Now, yeah,
Now,
got it.
and yeah, it's been a learning experience, and I think that's what life is. Life is just a whole bunch of learning experiences, and continuously grow and move forward and meet wonderful people like yourself.
Yeah, no, very, very true. Because I always like, I'm one of those. I like that saying, you meet people for a reason, season, or a lifetime, and that's been my, go-to every time. Because especially when you're parting ways with people that you really get close to, that kind of gives me some kind of solace that what, there is a reason those people came into my life, and there's a reason now we move on. So, and the kind of interactions that we have is makes us what we are today, right? So your pet rabbit, how long have you had your pet rabbit? I'm very curious because we've had a
One
rabbit
year,
too.
one
Oh,
year.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh, did you
yeah.
have any other pets before that?
Yeah, we started with hamster.
Hamsters.
Yeah, so we stayed in the rodent family, I guess.
Yeah, because why I ask you that is because my younger son, he's 21 now, but he loved, he would make us get pets. Of course, we'd end up taking care of them. And so he's had all kinds. So we've had a few hamsters die on us. And then we got a rabbit. I don't know whether we even had the rabbit for a year, but then I actually had, I had to donate it. So yeah, and now he's been after us for a cat, and I've told him once he moves out, he can get his cat. So he's really dying to move out now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so what I'd like to ask is, it's more about the people behind the scenes. I've met you because of the business, and you are doing amazing in it. But what were you like growing up? I'd like to know that.
Personality wise, I am assessed as an introvert,
Hmm.
as a pretty high introvert actually.
Seriously. Hmm.
Yeah, so these are multiple assessments. Growing up, I had not been really an outgoing kid,
Hmm.
if you really want to call it. But I think my dad had always kind of introduced me to new things. Kind of, I remember when I was like 12, 13 years old, he would encourage me to do, talks for our local community and all of that stuff, like encourage me to be in the public.
Yeah.
um, I had to be encouraged to do things. I wouldn't necessarily do them on my own accord,
Yeah.
per se.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in school, at earlier years, I had been bullied in school quite a bit. My
Oh.
name was made fun of. I used to run away from those bully kids
Oh
all
no.
around. So those were my early years as I grew up. And I'm not really sure when the transition really happened, but I think the transition really happened in my teenage years.
Hmm.
And I must have like between the ages of 13 and 14, something must have shifted for me. I can't pinpoint what it is, but I started developing a little bit more of a confidence,
Okay.
and that's when we moved to a new city, and I went to this new high school, and I saw these posters on the wall, and it said, vote for the president of students council. I'm like, what is this student council, and how do you become a president of it? So I'm in the school for 3 months. I decided to run for students council.
Wow.
No, I had not too many friends. I had like
Uh-huh.
one sidekick guy, and we just went for it. But anyways, we didn't win. But the following year, basically, I won. I became the president of students council in my high
Wow.
school. Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
that's been the journey. When I got into college, I was part of the South Asian community. If you don't know this about me yet, but I'm a huge Bollywood fan. Or choreographing dance sequences. We
Really?
went to University of Western Ontario and competed against
Wow.
other universities and all that stuff. So yeah, that's
You
that's
know,
that's
it's
me.
so funny. I didn't know that about you, but honestly, I have a question here saying, do you like Bollywood movies? That was going to be one of my fun questions I was going to ask you. No, seriously, I didn't know about
Huge
that.
fan,
You,
huge fan.
you know what? Somehow I had a feeling you would be, and that's why this question popped up in my mind. I don't know why, but this was. But the other thing I was going to do, in addition to asking you that question, is I was going to say, did you not ever consider becoming a model yourself because you have the personality and the looks? You're extremely good looking.
Oh
So
man,
did
thank
you ever
you.
consider becoming a model or anything, or did you
I
actually like act and just get into that kind of area?
It's a great question, and no, I didn't necessarily consider modeling. No, but yes, I did consider very seriously during college time to try to land a role and get into acting and all of
Yes.
that stuff. And the byproduct of that was I ended up at a new South Asian modeling agency here in Toronto.
Nice.
So got to do a couple of runways and all that stuff, but
Nice.
it
There you
was
go.
not
See,
my
I could
it was
tell.
not
See,
my cup of tea.
yeah, no, but I could tell that you had that little thing in you. That's what.
Yeah, it
But
was very short while. It was a very short while, and really wanted to get into acting. I think
that's what it was. Yeah.
yeah,
I
performance and theater and all that stuff.
Yeah, I can see that about you for sure. Because just just and the way you speak and the way you project yourself and things like that. Those speak of being like an actor and things like that. So you would have done really well. You would have. I was in Bollywood, like I was in Bombay that time. Like I wish we had known each other because a lot of my husband's side of the family are enmeshed within Bollywood. Like his cousin, she actually produces for Bollywood movies now. She's a producer. She was used to be the dress designer for Salman Khan.
Mhm.
She's very good friends with Shah Rukh and Gauri. So, things like that. So we have that little connection. I'm not that much because growing up in Bollywood in Bombay, Bollywood was like whatever. But yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's the
but
people out of the country who are crazy huge
yeah,
fans.
yeah. Because I remember where I used to live after I got married. The next building was, apartment building was where Karishma and Karina used to live, and
Oh,
things like that. Like yeah, in Lokanwala. So it's a lot of the TV stars now live in Lokanwala. Sridevi used to live a few streets down. Like, a lot of people used to be there. It's very congested now.
Mm,
But that's where we grew up, kind of thing.
got it.
But you know what, from what you're telling me, even from your high school experience, you do have that kind of tenacious attitude, like, yes, I can do it, and things like that. And that's why, even though you were assessed as an introvert, I think that quality has kind of taken you away from just purely being that introvert, being the social kind of a guy now. I think that's what has really helped you, because that kind of brings me to my next question: is being assessed as an introvert and being in social media now, which is the complete opposite. Like, how was that journey for you? Like, what made you decide to do this, and if you can share that.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, I've been, I guess you can call it like fascinated and enjoyed social media for some time. I mean, I didn't use it professionally,
Hmm.
for business
Hmm.
purposes or anything like that.
Hmm.
But I was on social media, I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and all that stuff, just kind of post here and there. I enjoy, I enjoy sharing my life,
Hmm.
and my journeys, and especially the parts that allow me to create an example for others, especially the underdogs out there.
Yeah.
To
Hmm.
me, I'm always driven with that. I considered myself an underdog. I still consider myself an underdog coming from the background that I do come from.
Hmm.
And you know, so for me, that kind of fascination with social media was already there.
Okay.
Coming into the business, of course, using social media as a marketing platform, as a way to do business, that is
Hmm.
something brand new to me. That is something
Hmm.
I had to learn, when I got here.
Hmm.
How to strategically create the profile, how to, you know, how to use the message and create content on a daily basis. All that stuff is something brand new, and
Hmm.
I'm enjoying learning that. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the messages that came from my mentor was that, there are going to be frustrations, there are going to be some setbacks.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
the more you can enjoy the journey and the more you get fascinated and go into the world of wonder,
Yes.
the better this journey will be for you.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, social media journey has been interesting, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to taking it, seeing where it goes, and it's got
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of power.
Yeah, it does. And, the social media journey for me has been a complete revelation, because for me, it always used to be about just posting, people just posting selfies or just being self obsessed. And I never realized that there was this complete other side to social media where you could actually leverage it and reach out to so many different people in multiple different ways and connect with them, right? So that has been the whole journey for me. And, I've learned so much. And that's what for me personally, that's what I enjoy a lot too, is not just the fact that I've built a business, but the learning, because we're always learning, and learning never ends. And that whole
Mm,
process has been so good. And then, of course, connecting with different kinds of people within my team, within, just the world, or even if people don't decide to do the business, just getting to meet all these different kinds of individuals
mm.
has been absolutely amazing. So, since you kind of talked about the business, I would like you to tell me, what are the three things about our business that have stood out for you personally? If you want to
Um, yeah.
mention that.
The biggest reason I chose this particular digital business model is I absolutely fell in love with the system itself.
Yeah.
And what do I mean by that? Yeah, so let me give you a bit of a precursor to this. My career prior to coming here was that of a professional speaker.
Okay.
People ask what a professional speaker does. Well, we get paid to speak, right?
Right.
So that's what we do. We represent brands. Companies hire us to represent their ideas and their high ticket offers on conferences and seminars and workshops and all that fun stuff.
Right.
So I had an opportunity to travel all over North America, Europe, some Africa as well, and it gave me some perspective. And that
Hmm.
is, I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of professionals who are looking to build a side income, looking to either leave their 9 to 5. A lot of times we pursue a career and we've accidentally fallen into that career.
Hmm.
I didn't grow up saying that, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be in HR.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in, human resources and do payroll and, capital management and all that stuff. No, nobody.
No.
I fell into it.
Yeah.
And then the more you fall into it, the more you get tied into it. And that's the story of most people.
Yeah.
But they are in those careers because it is paying the bills, it is supporting the household and everything like that.
Right.
And I got to meet a lot of people who were attending these conferences and seminars who wanted to do something out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
So the digital arena has been around for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
most people, when they go out to do something out of their job or outside of their job, I call it they all get stuck in the weed.
Yeah.
And that simply means is that they get stuck designing websites, writing emails, designing webinars, presentations, designing Facebook communities, and all of that fun stuff. They start getting busy, getting coaching certifications and learning this and that and all of that stuff. And guess what? They don't get to the fun part of the business,
Right.
which is making money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I did not, when I came to that point, March 2020 was my last speaking gig in
Okay.
California. I
Okay.
came back and that's it, everything was shut down. And
Right.
over the next few months, I had to reinvent myself and look at what I wanted to do. And it
Mm-hmm.
reminded me, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go down that path and get
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the weeds.
Right.
So when I came across this, and the way I moved through the system, the way the system was pre-designed for me, the way the communication of emails was happening and everything like that, I just fell in love with the system. And I
Right.
knew the power is in the system,
Yeah.
not necessarily the individuals or not necessarily the products or anything like that. It's the systems that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing is, of course, the portability of this entire thing. To me, I don't like to be location
Okay.
uh, tied to a location. I
Right.
love my flexibility. I love traveling. So, the speaking career did wonders for me. Every week I would be in a different city, different country, different hotel.
Wow.
So I like to keep moving. I like to just take my laptop and, tomorrow be in Vancouver and be working from there. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the other thing. And then number three is the opportunity to be able to have a community of supporting individuals, because whenever I know that whenever I'm going to do something new,
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to be alone,
Yeah.
because quite frankly, my circle does not do what I do, right? Like
Okay.
my circle, family,
Yes.
friends, people that
Yes.
I associate with.
Yeah.
So it is bound to have a lot of doubts
Yeah.
in what I was going to do. So I like to have a circle of people where I can immerse myself into it. And the way this community is, the way I have experienced it, is just a blessing and an entire support, because it doesn't matter who's doing business where,
Yeah.
they're always willing to help. And that's why I make sure that anything that I can give back to this community, that I do that. I try to say yes to most of the interviews.
Yes.
I mess up my schedule many times, so apologies to those people that I've messed up with, but my intention is always to help and contribute. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I that's so nice because I've similarly I completely agree with you. One of the things that you said, and I say that too, banking was not one of the things that I really chose to get into. I didn't ever decide as a child, oh, I want to become a banker or anything like that. It's something that fell into my lap, and it's not something that I was very excited about, but it paid the bills. And that's exactly what it is. You just get stuck in that rut because you take that first job that you get and it's paying the bills, and you just stay with that because you don't want to upset the status quo. You don't know what's going to happen if you kind of step away from it. So that was my challenge too, just being on that little hamster wheel, just doing the same thing day in and day out. And so I'm so glad that I stepped off this hamster wheel with this business. And the other thing that you said about the community as well is not only the fact that we are such an amazing, huge community, but it's like-minded individuals that are thinking the same way and are going towards the same direction. And very rarely does that happen. Like within your own family too. Like my own sister is in Toronto, but she's not into the business because she's a different kind of a person. And so this online family that I've got of like-minded individuals, it's very rare that you come across that. And I'm so blessed that, this has happened to me, and I get to meet, amazing individuals like yourself as well. So, so it's been truly a blessing. So two very quick, fun kind of questions is, what book
Okay.
are you reading right now? Because I know, I believe you are an avid reader, right?
Yeah. I'm reading The Nuclear Effect
Oh, I've heard of
right
that.
now.
I
Yeah.
need to get back to reading. I used to read a lot as a child, and then had kids, marriage, and things, and I haven't gotten back. So I really need to.
Oh,
Although
I
I
should
did. Mhm.
I should rephrase that.
Hmm.
I am listening to the nuclear effect.
So, yeah, the audiobooks are supposed to be much better. Yeah, okay. Maybe I
Yeah,
should do that, then you can go get about doing, because I love multitasking anyways.
yeah, but with me, I like that aspect, but I always carry a notepad and a pen with me
And take notes.
while I'm listening because I tell you that is one of the biggest things that sparks creativity,
Yes.
content generation,
Yes.
and allows me to take things that I may need to share with my teams and other individuals that I'm helping and mentoring as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, you can do that, but make sure that you have something on the side to kind of make notes because otherwise there's no yeah, there is a point in listening, over time things
Yes.
just go into it, but I like to do active listening.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm generally the only times I would be listening to is either I'm sitting at my, little chair, the reading chair, but that's my listening chair now, and with my notepad, and then I listen for like about 15 minutes, and kind of try to do concentrated, active listening.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to try that, because the last book I read was How Rich People Think. And what you said is so true, because when I was reading, I actually used excerpts from that book, and I started using those in my posts, and they were amazing. Some of the quotes that I came across were so, so truly inspiring, because that book has a compilation of different, successful people and their
Mm,
thoughts and things like that.
yeah,
So, yeah, so it's been a year since I read. So I need to get back to it. So maybe I'm going to go this route and try it out, the audiobooks.
nice.
And what do you do in your downtime to relax? Bollywood movie or
Yeah, yeah, I'm
yeah,
a huge movie guy. I love watching my movies. It is my wife and my thing.
yeah,
We don't we put our projector up and we project it on the wall, and
nice.
we put a
Any
good sound
favorite
system.
stars that you have? Who's your favorite?
Like I
Anybody
mean,
from the
they
new
they
generation?
they move around, but I've been a huge Shahrukh fan for a long time.
Yeah, I could. I
Um,
would have guessed that about you.
yeah,
I would
and
have guessed that about you.
so they keep moving these days in Hollywood. My daughter and I are huge Dwayne Johnson fans.
Oh, nice,
So yeah, so it's been it's interesting, and of course love music.
nice.
I listen to music all the time. A lot
Like
of
Bollywood
variety
music
actually.
as well, or
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Bollywood, of course, and
yeah,
I'm a mixture of pretty much a lot of things.
everything.
I mean, I
Yeah,
listen to Bhangra, I listen
yeah.
to country music sometimes,
Nice. So it
So
depends on
yeah,
your mood, I guess.
I guess so. I guess
Yeah.
so.
I
Yeah.
love the newer generation of actors. Like some of them are so amazing. Like even the Bollywood stories in the newer now, like the current
Hmm.
ones, are very different.
Hmm.
They used to be the same run of the mill kind of stories, and now they're kind of touching on different topics, and
That's
the
right.
acting is amazing, and it's really really
Yeah.
getting good there. So
Yeah.
I have a question for you from Tahira. I've just kind of put it on the
Yeah.
screen. Tahira is one of my team members, and
Uh,
she is just kind of asking Raza, how are you listening on? Is it on Spotify? What other apps do you recommend?
okay, so the book listening is on Audible.
Okay.
So Audible.
Yeah.
So
I can put
Audible,
that
that's
over
where I
here.
listen to my books, and of course my
Yeah.
music I listen on iTunes. So
Audible. Okay.
I tried Spotify, it just didn't give me enough Bollywood choices.
Okay. Okay. Oh, is it okay? All right. So
Yeah,
that's a tip for you there, Tahira. Thanks for your question there.
yeah. And
All
one
right.
app that I would definitely recommend is Google Calendar. It's
Yeah.
my lifesaver.
Oh, it is. It is mine too. And I have so many different things that I keep putting on there, like even little reminders for calling up people and like everything. So, yeah, I cannot
That's right.
survive without my Google Calendar. I love it. Love it. Absolutely. All right, Raza, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much for giving me your time. And, I wish you all the very best in 2022. Lots more success. And with success, I also want like happiness and contentment. That's a very, very important part as well. So, yeah. And
Absolutely,
any
Tanveen.
final words that you'd like to say bye to my audience?
No, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. And one of the messages that I always like to leave everybody with is that whenever you see a person, and I've had it's a privilege to be in this community, and I get many messages, and Raza, you great, and you inspire me and everything like that, and that's all great. And I want you to know that whenever you see anybody, that there is a past that has developed them into this way.
Yeah.
When somebody says that you're a natural at it, as much as it is a compliment, but it does not compliment the hard work that I put in place.
Yeah.
And, if Tamina is the way you are right now, it is because of the hard work that you put in to be this byproduct.
Right.
And so the message that I want to say, never compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10.
Wow. Nice.
And it is a dream killer if you do that. It puts a lot of doubt and a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Understand, it's very much, it's part of being emotionally intelligent, is the whole idea of self-awareness.
Yeah.
And that is knowing who you are, where you are in your journey,
Yeah.
and then look at others, look at Tamina, look at others as well, for guidance and inspiration,
Yeah.
right? And see the path that they have taken.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, I loved your questions today, because it allows
Yeah.
people to be able to see me, where I came
Yeah.
from, and all of that stuff, what makes me today.
Yeah.
So many of you have a lot in you to
Yes.
inspire others.
Yes.
Just because you're at chapter 2 in your life does not mean that chapter 1 was not inspirational, right?
Right. Yeah.
So walk your journey
Very, very
with
nicely
proud.
said. Thank you so much. And I think a lot of
Proud.
people need to hear that because we're always comparing ourselves to others. And, we need to actually stop doing that. And, I know I'm guilty of it too. We all are, right? We're humans. So thank you so much for those very, very wise words. Thank you. And it's a nice way to kind of end our interview today. Thank you so much, everyone that was watching us live. I had most of my team show up. So I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, ladies. And all right, take care, everyone, and have an amazing rest of the week.
Bye bye.